Okay, guys, let's start with the rapid revision of, hello everybody, pay attention. Let's start the rapid revision of marginal costing. First of all, a few basic things. When I say costing means what below? Calculation of cost. Now, calculation of which cost here, if I just talk about marginal bole to variable. Extra cost to produce one extra units, right? So you are separating your variable cost, right? So if you separate your variable cost, like you have a total cost, so if variable cost is separated, then what remains is your what? Fixed cost. So generally you do sales minus cost. Generally the statement is like sales minus cost, you get profit. But here it is sales minus variable cost, you get something, then minus fixed cost, you get something, that is profit. Okay. Now, sales minus variable cost. What is this known as? Simple, contribution. This 10 is your selling price. Vada pav you sell for 10 rupees, and yeah, your manufacturing cost is that. So when you sell one vada pav, that fellow is giving you kitna rupees? 10 in cash, and you are giving him vada pav in kind, on which you have invested 8 rupees. Like, so it is in kind. So one vada pav is contributing kitna rupiah? 2 rupees. That is why this thing is known as what? Contribution. Okay. Now, then there is one thing. There are three types of sales we say. One is break-even sale, that is break-even point. Then there is a margin of safety, and addition of these becomes what? Your total sales. Okay. Now what is this? Let me create an example. Maybe you will give me the answer easily. Let us say that yeah, your contribution is 2 rupees for every unit per unit ka. Now let's say that my fixed cost is 200 rupees. How many units I will have to sell to break even? 100 units, because every vada pav sold gives you kitna rupees? 2 rupees, right? So if you sell it 2 rupees comes in your bank account, and once amount comes in your bank account, what you're gonna pay is your fixed cost, right? So here if you sell 100 vada pavs, you will get into 2 karke 200 rupees. I'm saying contribution 200 you will get, and once you get 200 ka contribution, your profit will be 0. Acha. Or I can say like this, it is like this: sales quantity into contribution per unit. Sales quantity into contribution per unit, you are going to get this. Hello. So I can say that my contribution is kitna? 2. If you go reverse, how many units you will have to sell? 100. तुमको ये समझा? If I sell 100 units, अच्छा, same format let's keep. If I say that I want to earn 500 rupees ka profit, can you tell me how many units I will have to sell in totality to get 500? Acha, to get 500 you have to first make arrangement for what? Fixed cost, which is 200. So you should get bank account mein kitna? 700. You will pay your fixed cost, then 500 is there with you, which is your profit. Now every unit gives you kitna rupiah? 2, right? So that is 700 divided by 2, kitna? Ajay sir, so can you just generate a formula? I said yes. If you want to calculate the BEP, can I say these two will be equal only hamesha? Fixed cost plus profit, but profit will be 0 because it is break even point. So can I say it is a fixed cost, which is 200, and that is being divided by what? 2. That is contribution per unit. So you got answer in units. Hello. Why you want that answer in totality? It is BEP ka answer. Let us say if you want answer in total sales ka. So what you did, you added these two, right? Fixed cost plus profit. Then you said I need kitna rupiah in my bank account? 700. So that is a fixed cost plus profit. And then you divided that by what? Contribution. Every unit gives you kitna rupiah karke. Now, if I just tell you this, if I want to earn 500 ka profit, what is my margin of safety? First of all, I know my margin of safety directly also. That it is sales over and above break-even point. 100 पे आई अचीव ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट. ब्रेक इवन इज लाइक इट इज दैट पॉइंट एट विच नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस. इसके नीचे गया तो योर लॉस मेकिंग, उसके ऊपर योर प्रॉफिट मेकिंग. अच्छा, आफ्टर ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट देयर इज नो नीड टू पे व्हाट? फिक्स कॉस्ट, because it is already paid. When you achieved the break even point, you paid that entire fixed cost. Now when you sell extra units, fixed cost won't increase, right? So it is already paid. Okay. Acha, why it is known as break even point? Because it breaks companies into two parts. Below this wali loss making, above that wala profit making. Yeah. So now यहाँ पे आते हैं. What was break even point over here? Sorry, margin of safety over here 250, right? Total sales 350. So above break even point, how many units you sold? 250. Acha, let me give you one example. I hope you will be able to answer me. If I sell 100 units, do you understand? No profit, no loss. Acha, if I sell 100 plus 1 extra unit, what is my profit? 2. You understand why? Because fixed cost already paid 100 pay. When you sell 1 extra unit, what 2 rupees comes in your pocket as a contribution, that is your profit. Or if you don't understand that, 101 into 2, what you will get is 102. Pay the fixed cost. Or can I say 1 into 2, see that 2 rupees is my profit, no need to pay fixed cost. And this one is known as margin of safety. Break even pay, you sold 1 unit extra. Or other way around, I could have done like this also. 250 into 2, I got 500. At margin of safety, no need to pay this because when 100 units I sold, I already paid the fixed cost. So now if I tell you to get this, acha 500 ke pe upar, what is your margin of safety? So what will you do? This plus this. Fixed cost will be nil because it is already paid at break even point. Hello, thoda thoda jata hai. So what is gonna be your formula? It is profit only. Actually, the formula is this only. Fixed cost plus profit, you get contribution divided by contribution per unit. Here also, fixed cost plus profit divided by contribution. But at break even point, what is nil? Profit. So formula becomes fixed cost divided by contribution. At margin of safety, what is nil? Because it is already paid. So formula becomes profit divided by contribution per unit. क्या पता याद आता है क्या? So the formula will be profit divided by contribution per unit. थोड़ा speed में है, but I hope you understand that. Yeah. Now what is PV ratio? So I just want to have that ratio. Instead of having 2 rupees, I want that ratio. If I sell 100, 10 rupees ka vada pav, I get 2 rupees. It is as good as whatever is my sales, I get 20%. Whatever is my sales. So if I say my sales is 1 lakh rupees, can you tell me your contribution? 20,000 बाबा, क्या इतना सोच रहे हो? खाना ज्यादा हो गया है? अरे easy नहीं था ये? What I am saying is your sales is 1 lakh rupees. What will be your contribution? So 20% is your PV ratio, right? Achha, let me tell you one thing. Let's see whether you can answer. Sir, if 20% is your PV ratio, your variable cost ratio will be 80%. चलो ये पता है, तो 100 में से 80% is your variable cost, 20% is your contribution. This 20% comes in your bank account. Hello. So PV ratio indicates जितना भी sales रहेगा, what comes in your bank account. So 20% comes in your bank account. Now easy. My sales value is 10 lakh rupees. What is my PV ratio? Oh, sorry, what is my contribution? 2 lakh, because PV ratio is कितना? 20%. पक्का? अच्छा, other way around. If I need 2 lakh rupees in my bank account, if I need 2 lakh rupees in my bank account as a contribution, how much का sale? कितने का sale? 10 lakh. Reverse है. Hello. So same way. Now, suppose I need answers where in value. So can I say same way? Can I make this statement? Sales into PV ratio. I will get what? Minus fixed cost. I get profit. Now I know my PV ratio is kitna? 20%. What is your break even point? Can I say where profit is nil? So if your fixed cost is kitna? एक second. Kitna tha? It was 200. If your fixed cost is 200, you need 200 rupees in your bank account. So if you want 200 in your bank account, कितने का sale you have to do? 20% comes in your account. तो 100 मतलब कितना? तो I can say that 1000 का sales if you do, so you get your answer. Hello. So 1000. How did you get this? So again, the formula is fixed cost plus profit. If I go reverse, so I get contribution, and then divide by what? PV ratio. But again, if I ask myself at BEP what is nil, you don't earn profit, right? So ये तो same ही रहेगा, right? So your formula shall be what? Fixed cost divided by PV ratio. Hello. So your formula over here will be fixed cost divided by PV ratio. अच्छा चलो, if I ask you like this, sir, I want to make 500 rupees का profit. कितने रुपये का? What should be my sales value? Can I say 200 is your fixed cost? So how much you want in your bank account? 700, right? Once you get 700, you're gonna pay your fixed cost of 200. Please pay attention. Then 500 profit you will get, right? And you know one ratio that 20% comes in your bank account. You need 700 rupees. कितने रुपए का sale you have to do? 3,500 का sales you have to do. What you did is total sales का value निकालना है, तो fixed cost plus profit and divide by what you did is PV ratio. That is, you added these two, fixed cost plus profit, and divided by PV ratio. अच्छा, margin of safety. Let us say, what is your margin of safety? 2,500. Or let us say margin of safety, अगर if you want to earn 500 का profit, what is your margin of safety? At margin of safety, do you pay fixed cost? It is already paid, so that will become this. So 500 divided by 20% also will do. What is find it? Actually, the formula is fixed cost plus profit divided by PV ratio. It is same everywhere. You will get contribution, then you divide by PV ratio. But what is nil? Fixed cost. At margin of safety, no need to pay fixed cost because it is already paid at break-even point. क्या पता दिमाग में जाता है तुम्हारे? Yeah. So now can I say that your formula will become what? Profit divided by what? PV ratio. Achha, all said and done. All said and done. What you need to remember is this. If numerator, if it is said that numerator में BEP they are asking for, MOS they are asking for, total sales they are asking for. They will ask either answer in units or they will ask either answer in rupees. That is value we can say. If BEP is asking the question, what will come in the numerator? Fixed cost. If MO is asked, what will come? Profit. If a total sales is asked, fixed cost plus profit. Pakka? Acha, divide by, agar contribution per unit and rupees mein to divided by PV ratio. Your job is done. Like now if I tell you, calculate BEP in units, so your formula will be fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. If I tell you, calculate MOS in rupees, so formula will be profit divided by PV ratio. ये एकदम दिमाग में फिट होना चाहिए, master formula. Now, clear है? I try to give you the logic also थोड़ा सा. Now, sir, how do you get this PV ratio? First of all, how do you get this PV ratio? So there are कुछ 5 methods. अच्छा, first of all, how do you get this contribution, sir? Selling price minus variable cost. You get the contribution. Hello, done. अच्छा, actually यहाँ पे भी formula यही था, plus profit and plus fixed cost. But because profit is nil at BEP and because fixed cost is nil, so that formula ये becomes होता वो. Clear है ना? Then you get contribution, then you go reverse to divide by PV ratio वगैरह. यहाँ तक clear है? Yes. Now, how do you get this PV ratio? तो पहला formula is contribution upon sales into 100. Second formula is change in profit upon change in sales into 100. अच्छा, generally this will be used when 2 years or 2 periods का data will be given. Hello, then they will give you only sales का value, to sales का value, to profit का value. So change in profit upon change in sales into 100. Yeah, the logic was discussed. Maybe few were not there while discussing the logic, but formula at least याद है, change in profit upon change in sales into 100. अच्छा, I will do one thing. क्वेश्चन में कभी भी जब ये दिया रहेगा ना, दे विल गिव यू ओनली प्रॉफिट एंड सेल्स का डेटा. अच्छा, यू नो ओनली सेल्स का डेटा एंड यू नो ओनली प्रॉफिट का डेटा. टेल मी, बट बाय अप्लाइंग दिस फॉर्मूला व्हाट डिड यू गेट? पीवी रेशियो. तो वंस यू डू सेल्स इनटू पीवी रेशियो, व्हाट दिस वाज गिवन एंड दिस वाज गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन. बट बाय सेइंग दिस चेंज इन प्रॉफिट अपॉन चेंज इन सेल्स, व्हाट डिड यू गेट? पीवी रेशियो. इन सेल्स इनटू पीवी रेशियो, व्हाट यू विल गेट? Contribution. Profit is already given in the question, so what will be your balancing figure? Fixed cost you can easily get. समझता है ये? अच्छा, sometimes they will give you like this, that your variable cost is 80%. तो 10 में से 8 is variable cost, तो 10 में से, तो 100 में से 80 is variable cost, तो 100 के sales value में से 20 will be contribution. So if this is 80%, your PV ratio will be कितना? 20%. I hope that is clear. Yeah, again there is one more formula, sir. अगर if I talk about BEP, तो B का formula क्या है? BEP का fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So PV ratio can be fixed cost upon BEP, and to convert that into percentages, I can say into 100. So you will get percentages में value. Clear with this? There will be what? MOS is equal to profit upon PV ratio. So it is gonna be PV ratio is equal to profit upon MOS into 100. Hello, that will be done. Clear with this? Now, after that I can just say this, sir, how to get this? How to get fixed cost? So as and when they ask you fixed cost का data ना, okay, so as and when they ask you fixed cost, so you can get like this. अच्छा, या तो one thing you can do is again, which formula you can use? BEP का, कि BEP is equal to fixed cost divided by either PV ratio or divided by contribution per unit. So again, as a balancing figure, that is what you can say is BEP into PV ratio. So two formulas can be there if you want to get this. Hello, just to give you the idea how you can get the fixed cost करके. Sometimes if it is not given, तो पहला है BEP is equal to fixed cost divided by what? Contribution per unit. अगर data इसमें units में है, right? So what formula it can become करके? Contribution, sorry, will go there. So can I say BEP units into what will become? contribution per unit या तो BEP in rupees into what will you do? PV ratio. Clear with this? Now, if I just talk about profit, again the same thing can be done. Otherwise, as and when they ask you for a profit, I just do one thing. I just make one income statement. Then I can get the profit answer when they ask you, Acha, how to get the income statement? So if I just talk about your income statement, please understand how it can be made. So there are various ways, whatever is comfortable to you. Either it can be sales minus variable cost, you're gonna get contribution, minus fixed cost, you're gonna get profit. Hello? Or it is gonna be sales into, see the contribution per unit if you have. So see the total contribution you will get, minus fixed cost you will get profit. Yeah, so what you can do is sales into PV ratio, you will get contribution minus fixed cost, then you will get profit. So you can make income statement like this. I hope the things are being quite clear. Okay. Chayito, I can share you this PDF also. Just do remind me after the lecture. Yeah, you can write down. I'm not saying no, but just in case you need PDF, that will do remind me after the lecture. Otherwise, I will forget. It is for sure. Okay. So now, so this is done, right? Okay, so okay, so let's have a look. यहाँ तक हो गया है? Okay. Okay, so here we go. After doing this, how to get total sales? So we have this fixed one profit कैसे निकालने का, we did this, right? Now, sir, there is one more equation. What is that equation? Please explain. So I can just explain this thing. Whatever formula you have written, sometimes they will give you ratio. Ratio बोले तो total sales is equal to BEP plus MOS. So sometimes they will give you like this, that your BEP MOS is 40%. So we need to understand out of 100, if MOS is 40%, बोले तो BEP will be 60%. This data is in percentages. Then they will give you some information. They will either give you information of fixed cost or either give you information of profit. If information of fixed cost is given, what you can calculate? BEP. And once you can get BEP, you can cross multiply and you can get everything. Or either they will give you information of profit. So you can get the MOS and you can cross multiply and you can get the other data. समझ में आता है ये चीज? Okay, so this was all about your basic questions which were there. Now few points which you need to remember. What all points you need to remember after this? I can just say that if question says that selling price has increased by 10%, please increase only selling price. It means no change in variable cost per unit. Hello, if question says selling price has increased, increase only selling price. Otherwise you have a habit, sir, price but I will increase the cost. Cost will also increase, or even other way around. If it is mentioned in the question variable cost will increase by 10%, then please increase only variable cost. Do not increase selling price. They will specify if it is. You don't assume anything at your end. Clear with this? Okay. And one basic thing which we all know, if question says variable cost will increase by 10%, effect will be given in per unit column. But if it is said fixed cost will increase by 10%, effect will be given in which column? Total per unit column effect will be given in this columns करके. एकदम अच्छे से clear है ये चीज? Yes sir. Now, so these are your basic questions which we can see that. Okay. After this, let us say whatever basic questions we did. Acha, just one point I want to give a note of. If it is mentioned in the question, in the first year you sold 10,000 units, and in the second year also you sold kitna units? 10,000. Or question will tell you one thing. Whatever units we have sold in the first year, we have sold same units in second year also. Let us say this information is not given, but it is said that same units are sold. And it is written that selling price is 10, where variable cost is 8. And it is written selling price will increase by 10%, so you will increase it. I don't know the quantity and all, huh? Okay. Now, if nothing is mentioned about variable cost, so variable cost तो 80 रहेगा. और आपका क्वांटिटी भी दोनों ईयर का, बोथ ईयर्स का सेम है, तो 82 सेम वही क्वांटिटी रहेगा जो प्रीवियस ईयर का है. सो कैन आई से इफ nothing is mentioned about variable cost, it will per unit it will remain constant. And if it is said that and if it is said that your quantity your quantity is also same, so your total variable cost will remain same. ऐसा याद आता है आपको? Your total variable cost will remain same if two factors are same. What? Per unit में it is same and quantity is also same, so your variable cost will remain same. Okay. अच्छा चलो, इससे एक चीज और याद आ गया by discussing this. So when does my PV ratio changes? If I just talk about this PV ratio, when will it change? It will change only in two cases: if there is a change in selling price or if there is a change in variable cost per unit. Change in fixed cost, does it affect your PV ratio? No. Change in quantity also does not affect your PV ratio, because as sales increases, your variable cost also increases in the same proportion. कुछ दिमाग में बैठता है? Yeah. अच्छा, one more thing. PV ratio can remain constant in this case. If sales price increases by 10%, like this is 100, selling price, this is variable cost is 80 and this is 20. Hello. This has increased by 10% and this has also increased by 10%. तो ये 110 हो जाएगा, ये 88 हो जाएगा. जरा do it. 22. तो PV ratio will remain same. It means I can say that PV ratio can remain same if change in selling price जितना हुआ in percentages is equivalent to change in variable cost also in percentages. The percentages are same. So in the question, if it is said your selling price is increased by 10%, okay, and we want to keep the same PV ratio. Your selling price has increased by 10%, which was 100, and you want to keep the same PV ratio, so you have to increase your variable cost also by kitna? 10%. Then that ratio will remain same. Yeah. So that's done. So that was all basic which we have discussed with reference to this. Acha. Now, one more thing just I want to discuss. I hope you gonna get that. Let us say that my total sales is 100, my BEP is 80 and my MOS is 20. ये MOS है, ठीक है. Now if I say my sales has increased by 10%, तो मेरा sales कितना हो गया? 110. You don't cross multiply. Hello, your fixed cost will remain 80 only. Sorry, your BEP will remain 80 because BEP is what? Fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So quantity has increased, na? No change in fixed cost and PV ratio. So whatever extra units you sold, आपका margin of safety will increase. Just understand one thing: if you sell more units, what will increase? Margin of safety. Safety margin. It is like 50% is passing. If you get 60%, the margin of safety is 10. If you get 80%, the margin of safety is 30. So as you get more percentage, your safety margin increases. Many people feel as if volume बढ़ा तो ratio same रहेगा. नहीं, ratio will change then. 180-20 नहीं रहेगा. ये तो 80 ही रहेगा. Then it will become 30. 110 minus. Then you will calculate new ratio. Clear hai? Now, so this was all basic. Now let us go to the next part of the question. This was all basic. Yeah. Maybe I will just change the sequence as with reference to importance level. So first I will go with the sales mix wala part. If I just go with the sales mix wala part, just let's take that question itself. Fatafat, I can just give you the idea about that. Let's take that question. So guys, we have a company where we sell two products. Let us say J and K. Let me just draft a question directly. Sales mix. Now I am going for a sales mix wala part. So listen to this carefully. There is one product A and there is one product B. I sell that product in one box. That is known as either box or either known as set. One set or one box, whatever you say. I sell, let us say that 3 units of this, 2 units of this. So how many units I sell? 5. Let us say here I get 10 rupees and here I get 20 rupees. तो कितना हो जाएगा ये? 30. Every unit का था ये. So 20 into 2 कितना हो जाएगा? So you get कितना रुपया? 70. So when you sell that one box, it is like there are various combos, celebration का package or anything. We can say Gillette and उसका blades and all. तो यहाँ पे A and B का some ratio is there. You get 70 rupees from every unit or every box or every set, I can say. So this is step number 1, which is known as what? Contribution per set. Once you calculate contribution per set, now you need BEP in sets. Let us say that if I tell you your fixed cost is 700. So once you sell one box, what this is your contribution, huh? Contribution बोले तो sales minus variable cost करके that you get 10 and 20. Now one box gives you 70 rupees in your bank account. That is your contribution per set. So selling price minus contribution per set. So 700 minus 70. So can I say how many boxes you will have to sell? Either you will say 10 boxes or 10 sets. So you got BEP in sets. Once you sell 10 boxes, every box will give you 70 rupees. So 7 into 10, you will get 700, right? Now if I ask you, okay, sir, what is your BEP in units? तो प्लीज डू नॉट डिवाइड दिस 10 into 3:2 का रेशियो. हेलो, one box has 3 units of A and one box has, if you sell one box ना, तो वो उसमें 3 units of A and 2 units of B are there. तो if you sell 10 boxes तो उसमें क्या रहेगा बताओ? 10 into 3, 10 into 2, you are selling in totality कितना ये? 30 and 50, sorry 20. So you are selling 30 and 20. So here we go, that is 30, 20 and that becomes कितना? 50. Is it clear? Otherwise, other way around you can do that also. One box has how many units? 5. So 10 boxes into 5, how many units? 50. And then you can divide in the ratio 3:5. 3:2, sorry. अगर करना है तो total 50 units में से ये कितना. I hope that thought process is clear. So it is all about this. Chalo, let me just add something to this question. I will come to know whether you are getting this or not, because that small reference is there in your budgetary control ka chapter. There is one sales mix wala part. If I tell you your fixed cost is 700, and let us say that after fixed cost there is profit also you want to earn after doing this. So let's say that you want to earn 700. Yeah, you want to earn 140 ka profit. So let me just explain this question again. 700 is your fixed cost and 140 ka profit you want to earn. How many boxes you will have to sell? अरे क्वेश्चन समझा? One box gives you कितना रुपया? 70. 12. Do you get that easily? Yeah, it is like the fixed cost plus now you will use total sales का formula, fixed cost plus profit divided by, but this time contribution क्या है ये per set. So this total sales will also be in sets. It is like, sir, I want to earn 140. Before that I have to make arrangement, so total 840 should be in my bank account, because once I get 840 ka contribution I will pay 700 ka my fixed cost, and what remains with me is 800 minus 840 minus 700, that is 140 ka profit with me. I have to earn 840, and sir, every box sold gives 70 rupees in my bank account. So 840 divided by 70, I will have to sell how many sets? 12. And in this case I can just say like this कि into 3 and into 2. समझ में आता है ये? 12 sets into 3, every set will have 3 units. So 12 into 3 and 12 into 2. You gonna get units में answer. Clear with this? Can I go with the next part? We are done with 2 parts. One is basic. Chances are there, question will come from there, majority of the chances. Then the second part we did is sales mix. Also 3-4 questions were there on that, guys. We did all are from the module. 19 was developed by me, conceptual question. Then 20, 22 and yeah, something we did. Now let's go with the one more concept, which is opportunity cost. So after sales mix, let me go to this one concept, which is opportunity cost. Okay, let us discuss as to what is there in the opportunity cost. Let me give you an idea. Let us say some demand will be given in the question, and you will be having a capacity that will be given in the question. There is a product A, B and C. I will just take 1 or 2 examples. 1000 hai, 900 hai. Tell me how many quantities you can produce. Capacity it is. Even though demand is there, but I don't have capacity, sir, I will take 900. Let us say it is 1000 and it is 1900 this time. So even though I have a capacity but demand ही नहीं है, so what will you do with production? You have to sell, right? You produce to sell, not to accumulate with yourself. Carrying cost increases, so you gonna take कितना? 1000. अच्छा, can I say one thing? You have to select which quantity, whichever is lower. Once you get this quantity, you have to multiply with contribution per unit. Let us say your contribution per unit is 10, so here it will become कितना? 9,000. Let us see, here it is 10, so it will become कितना? 10,000. Let us say some answer came here 15,000. Now what is gonna be your opportunity cost? Because you selected A, you lost an opportunity, not for both, either B or C. Because if you don't go for A, then you have to produce any one of the product. Hello, then only opportunity cost comes when choice is mutually exclusive. So if you produce A, अगर आप A नहीं बनाते, if you do not produce A, what you would have produced? B or C? C. So your opportunity cost is whichever is higher of these two remaining. So if I talk about this B, so 9,000 and 15,000, whichever is higher? 15,000. Then here if I say so 9 and 10, whichever is higher, that is your opportunity cost. Ignore the fixed cost because it is irrelevant. It will not change with your decision. So you won't consider that in your opportunity cost. एकदम अच्छे से clear है ये? Done. So sir, we did something with reference to opportunity cost. Now there is one concept known as the limiting factor. So let's have a look. Just a rapid recap for that matter. Limiting factor. Acha, what you need to remember with reference to limiting factor, let me give you an idea. What you will remember with reference to this limiting factor wala. There is a total requirement and there is a total, like to study, you have how many days? 10 days with you. 10 days ka requirement you have. 10 days aapko padhna hai. But sir, you have only how many days with you? 6. That is available. So can I say requirement is higher? You don't have those days. So will you be able to complete 10 chapters? 10 chapters, 10 days you allocated. But no, you cannot do that. You have to select some chapters. So here that factor is known as what? Limiting factor करके. So how you gonna do that? Let me just give you the short idea. फटाफट देखो इधर से ही समझ जाएगा. Maybe that will be helpful. Just give me the contribution for this. It is gonna be 20. Hello. It is gonna be 10 and it is gonna be 50. But there is a twist. क्या हुआ? To earn this 20 rupees, you have to spend. Material is let us say material is limited. Only 50,000 kgs. So every kg of material you should use carefully, right? So if I put 1 kg here, so 20 rupees I earn in how many kgs? 1 kg. So can I say 20 divided by 1 कितना आता है आपको? 20 rupees ही आता है. अच्छा, you earn कितना रुपया? तो you earn 10 rupees. But to earn this 10 rupees, how many kgs you have to put? 2 kgs. So you after putting 2 kgs, you generate 10 rupees. So 10 divided by 2 कितना? 5 rupees per kg you generate 50 rupees again by doing this. कितना? 5 kgs में तो 10 rupees per kg आता है. 50 रुपए कमाने के लिए you have to use 5 kgs. तो every kg is generating you कितना? 10 rupees, right? So raw material is limiting factor. Every kg, if you use 1 kg, it will give you 20 rupees. It will give you 5 rupees. It will give you 10. Given a choice, ranking बोले तो पहला क्या बनाएगा? पहला A बनाएगा. Then C. तो A, B, C में से you will give ranking like this. पहले ये you will produce, then this and then this. Clear है? Accordingly, production will be done. Just to give you the idea, let's say that how many units, how many kgs you have? 50,000. Let me just complete in a rapid way. समझ में आ रहा है ना? But अच्छा, you will make like this कि मेरे पास A है, B है, C है. Ranking कितना आया था आपका? It was 1 2 3 1 2 3 132. Sorry, 132. Then I just say that total quantity, total raw material which is used is equal to raw material कितना per unit का use होता है into quantity. अच्छा, let me just write down the raw material per unit. Raw material per unit कितना है आपका? 1 2 and 5. That is raw material. Every unit requires 1 2 and 5. अच्छा, ranking number 1. तो first you will produce A का market demand you will fulfill. तो A का market demand is कितना? If you see 15,000. Let us produce 15,000. तो कितना consume हो जाएगा? 15,000 into 1. So you understand? तो 15,000 if I produce, it will consume 15,000. And how many kgs I have वैसे? Some data was there. कितना? 50,000 kgs I have. Hello. So 50 में से तो 15 I have utilized for A. Now let's go for the ranking number 2, which gives you higher money. That is C. That's what is the market demand. If you check, that is कितना? 5,000. 5,000 into 10 if you do, तो एक सेकंड क्या करने का था? 5 into 5,000. Sorry. 25,000. Now what is left? 50,000 में से 25,000 left. 15,000 गया. What remains as a balancing figure is 10,000. Just produce whatever you can. So you have to divide by 2. 5,000. And then just multiply with what? Contribution per unit. Per unit बोले तो ये 25. ये नहीं, sorry. Per unit बोले तो ये 100 minus 120 minus 100 करके जो आया था. And minus the fixed cost, you're gonna get the answer. Now there is one more difficult question. That question is based on multiple limiting factor. On what basis it is? Multiple limiting factor. This chapter is quite lengthy and it is quite conceptual also. Other chapters are comparatively not that ये इसमें थोड़ा ज़्यादा time भी जाएगा because yeah we need to cover that thing. Okay, and that will be wholesome revision for you. Okay, so now 24 if I just talk about, there were parts I just discussed roughly. फटाफट ऊपर से ध्यान से आंसर देना. तुम्हें डायरेक्टली बोलता है, थोड़ा सा ये मॉड्यूल का ही क्वेश्चन है. हाउ मेनी रॉ मटेरियल्स यू हैव? तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इफ आई से कितना केजीज है? 13. कैन यू टेल मी 13,000 केजीज में पार्ट ए कितना बन सकता है? एवरी यूनिट ऑफ ए रिक्वायर्स 1.6 केजीज. तो नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स आर x इंटू 1.6 केजीज करने के बाद एक यूनिट के लिए 1.6 मैक्स कितना यू कैन यूटिलाइज इज 13,000 केजी. 13,000 केजी माइनस तो मैक्स यू कैन प्रोड्यूस इज 8125. Once you produce 8125 units, 8125 into 1.6, entire raw material is utilized. अच्छा, instead of A, if you go for a B, again what you will do? 13,000 divided by 1.65. Sorry, 1.6 कितना? अच्छा, here machine hours how many available you have? 4,000. Again same thing. Of one unit, number of units are X. Every unit requires 0.6 hours, so you will get total hours which shall not exceed 4,000. So 4,000.6, that is 666. Lekin you should take 6 or 7. Or logical, it was explained, if you take 7 you won't be having those many hours. 6 मैथमेटिकल वाला लोगे तो गलत हो जाएगा. Then into 0.6 करोगे, it will exceed 40,000. 0.2 something will come. If you take 6667 into 0.6, it will exceed 40,000. 4,000, sorry. Max we have is 4,000. Same thing you will do. Hello, समझ में आता है? Then you will select highest whichever, that is again you will do 4,000 upon 0.25, you will get the answer. You will select whichever is lower or whichever is highest. Whichever is lowest. Hello, because if you select 8125, you have raw material, I agree, but machine A, does it have that much capacity to process those many units? No, right? So if you select lowest, whatever it is, let us say 666, so I have machine A has a capacity. Do I have that much raw material? Yes, raw material so I have for 8125, so 66 I can easily produce. So you have to select whichever is lowest quantity, and then you need to get the contribution, and the job will be done. Then once you get दोनों का quantity ना कितना बन सकता है lowest से, that should be multiplied by what? Contribution per unit, and the product which has highest contribution will be selected. Clear with this? Okay, so that was something which I have explained. Now let's come to the indifference point, guys. Let's come to the indifference point. Okay, so let's come to this. I hope चल रहा है, चलने देते हैं या चेंज करना है चैप्टर? समझ रहा है ना? हाँ. Let's talk about indifference point. चलो, if I give you some example, maybe you will understand that. चलो, let me get to the crux rather than discussing in detail. I can say the fixed cost का data will be given, variable cost. There are two vehicles that will be given, vehicle A and vehicle B. Fixed cost data, variable cost data will be given. Let us say it is 10,000, it is 12,000. So from fixed cost point of view, which vehicle is better? A, na, because it has the lowest fixed cost. Hello. But if I talk about variable cost, so sir, here it is 50 and here it is 60. So from variable cost, यहाँ पे this is better, A is better. But from variable cost point of view, which is better? B. I am confused what to do. I need some demarcation की इस पे ये better, इस पे. तो first of all, change in fixed cost कितना? 2,000. Change in variable cost 50 minus 60, that is gonna be कितना? 10. So formalize change in fixed cost upon change in variable cost. Logic we have already discussed in the class. I am not discussing again. So 2000 upon 10 कितना आएगा? 200 units या kilometers, whatever it is. At this both will give you the same cost. Just in case you want to calculate, 200 into 60 plus 10,000. Hello, 200 into 60 plus 10,000 will give you कितना cost? 22. If you go for 200 units, so 50 का खर्चा for every unit, तो 50 into 200 plus 12,000 कितना? 22. समझ में आता है? अच्छा, one more thing. Below indifference point, which option is better? Option with lower fixed cost. It is like 0 kilometer assume. तो 0 kilometer पे what is better? जिसका क्या होता है आपका fixed cost कम होता है. अच्छा, above indifference point, which option is better? जिसका variable cost is lowest per unit में. Clear है एकदम? अच्छा, now there will be one question. There A point will be there, B point will be there, C point will be there. Now what should be the process? There is one question they may ask. You may never know when, but they can ask that question. ये clear है इतना? A है, B है, C. How many indifference points will calculate? AB, AC and let us say BC. समझता है? अच्छा, let us say this answer is 100. This answer is ऐसा. चलो, अगर मैं ऐसा निकालता, just in case तुमने ऐसा बोला ना कि पहले BC you need to calculate then AC. So let us say this answer, I will just give you that answer only which is there in the module. Let us say this is 300 and let us say this is 550 and this is कितना? 800. So you need to make the timeline. You will put first 300. 300 के पास पहले क्या put करने का? 550 and then 800. So 300 is this indifference point A and B. Then 550 is, let us say, indifference point of this AC and this is BC. So it is confirmed. इसके पहले lower fixed cost वाला option you will get. Let us say that is A. Higher, lower variable cost वाला option you will get above वाले में, which is C. So logic was explained, but in between then what remains will be in the B. Logic was explained in detail. So आपका timeline बन जाएगा कि एक तो less than 300, then at 300 both options are better. कौन सा? A and B. And in this entire range, that is 300 से greater than 300 से लेके less than 800, A, AB, and then B will be better, and then greater than 800 पे what will be at 800 पे what will be better? AC, BC at 800, and above that what will be better? C. ऐसा याद आता है? Okay, so that was the thing which we did with reference to indifference point. Yeah, there is a mathematical question also, you have to just have a look. वो अच्छा इसमें एक शॉर्टकट आइडिया दे दूं तो there is one question number 27. What you need to pay attention to is simple. You will have three equations. First of all, it is like this: f1 plus f2 is equal to 1,50,000. आपको इसका वैल्यू सी के टर्म्स में निकालना है, इसका वैल्यू सी के टर्म्स में निकालना है. सो इसमें क्या करने का, दे हैव गिवन वाज आंसर बीपी इज इक्वल टू f1 प्लस कंट्रीब्यूशन पर यूनिट. इट इज अज्यूम्ड एज सी एंड बीपी विल बी गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन, लेट अस से 1000. तो f1 विल बी कितना, 1000 सी. हेलो, and once you get this is as 1000 c, there will be one more equation known as indifference point का, उसमें ये वैल्यू को सब्स्टिट्यूट कर देने का. you have to substitute f1 is 1000 c, you will get f2 in c, and once you get f2 in c, then if this is 1000 c, this is 2000 c, तो c कॉमन है, तो 3000 c is equal to 1,50,000. तो you can get c का वैल्यू. थोड़ा थोड़ा याद आता है, तो I am just giving a rapid recap, I am not solving entire question. Okay, so something was that. Now so I can say that now there are questions based on graph we did. Graph के लिए I can just tell you one thing, that if I just talk about graph वाला part guys, graph वाले part में देखो कुछ ऐसा है. Chances are very less, but just in case if you want to listen to, you gonna make this graph. यहाँ पे आपके what will come units, यहाँ पे what will come is rupee. Highest one point you will select, you will say at this what is your sales line will go like this. You will select one point and then you will have that point over here. Acha, then you will see what is your fixed cost, because irrespective of units it will be paid, irrespective of number of units what will you pay, fixed cost. So let us say it is 10,000 karke, right? So your total cost curve will be like this. Hello, it will not end to zero, it will end at fixed cost. Then the point where it intersects, it is your BEP in units and here it is BEP in rupees. Clear with this? This is your sales line, this is your cost line. So this is your which area, profit area, and this is your which area, loss below indifference point. अच्छा, one more thing, one more cost will be given, that is variable cost. याद है क्या? तो ये आपका सेल्स लाइन है. हेलो, तो दिस इज योर सेल्स लाइन एंड दिस इज योर वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. तो ये बीच का पार्ट क्या रहेगा, योर कंट्रीब्यूशन. Okay, that is what it was explained. So it is all about graph. Okay, after doing that a graph, we just talk about yeah, we did a limiting factor, we did opportunity cost, we did a sales mix, then there is a shutdown point. What I generally remember is first two requirements are quite easy. For shutdown point you guys have to remember only one thing. I don't remember the formula, but I just remember is आप उन business को चालू रखेगा तो what is your cost, if you shut down your business what is your cost, उसका difference divide by either PV ratio or contribution per unit. अगर आंसर shutdown point in rupees they are asking for, तो divide by PV ratio, shutdown point in units तो divide by contribution. बोले तो चालू वाले को क्या बोलते हैं, मैं total fixed cost. हेलो, and if you close the business still you have to incur that cost, it is unavoidable fixed cost minus unavoidable fixed cost. So formula is total fixed cost minus unavoidable fixed cost divided by either PV ratio or contribution. Hello, I think for this I devoted too much time while explaining for shutdown point, gym trainer and all that stuff करके, but you remember this part, चालू बंद divided by PV ratio or contribution per unit. Okay, so now that's it. So we gonna done with this. The last point for this is guys merger of plants. I can just say one thing, you cannot merge. This question is not in module, it was asked maybe 3-4 years back in 2018 or somewhere, but yeah, you just need to remember one thing, this is at 100%, this is at 70%, you cannot merge. The answer will not give you anything logical. If you add this and this, no logic for that. But if you bring it to the same capacity, if you add, तो जो answer है, it is 100% पे what merge capacity there. It is like if you convert to कितना 100%, how will you do this? Divide by 70%, divide by 70%, sales को and variable cost को, right? Don't do this for fixed cost, because sir, whether you work at 80 or whether you work at 100, your fixed cost will remain same. This mistake you can do, please don't do that. Changes वाला part किसको, आपका fixed cost को नहीं करने का, sales में. और once you get the answer ना, it is like देखो, एक क्लास में 100 बच्चे बैठते हैं 100% कैपेसिटी में, सेकेंड क्लास में 60% पे 60 स्टूडेंट सेट. If you had 160, no logic. But if you convert it to 100, then if you had 200 students, then we can say merge class will have a 200 ka capacity. That is why while combining the plants, it should be at the same capacity, preferably kaun sa 100. Then the rest is quite easy. Then you will get total plant ka sales value, total plant ka variable cost, total plant ka contribution. Contribution upon sales in 200, you will get plant ka PV ratio. Then rest you can calculate. एकदम अच्छे से clear है? अच्छा. So that's it. Acha, one last point. Now maybe those who did not learn from me, maybe they won't understand, but एक shortcut है. selling price minus variable cost contribution. There is a quantity and there is a per unit karke. As I said, you can go in detail, but shortcut was like this. If your quantity increases, your total sales value will also increase and your total variable cost also will increase. Total, as you will produce more, na, if you will sell more, so sales will increase, but you will have to produce more, so variable cost also will increase in totality. Where you are incurring for 100, now you will incur for 110. But if it is written selling price will reduce, quantity is given, effect in both sales also, variable cost also. Selling price will increase by reduce by 10%, so reduce only selling price. Reduction in variable cost by 20%, तो reduce only variable cost. हेलो, but quantity तो दोनों में देने का, and fixed cost है तो total में effect देने का, increase decrease का. ये इसका भी आपका total में ही आएगा, because आप यहाँ पे दे रहे हो, जो भी total values रहेगा, you will say plus and minus. हेलो, plus 10%. Don't do this net off करके, you have to do individually, plus 10% minus 20%, और या तो पहले minus 20% and then plus 10%. That's it. This was all about, we can say that is the best revision which is there for that matter of marginal costing, even though it took time, but the difficult chapter and chances are more, so once you watch any time while revising, आपका बहुत ज़्यादा time कम हो जाएगा to this. Whether I should revise this or not, I don't know. चलो absorption वाला part, चलो एक बार मैं revise कर लेता हूँ. Let's take the risk for that matter. Absorption versus marginal वाला part. Let's do that. चलो कर ही लेते हैं. Where it is here, किधर गया, absorption versus marginal. I'm just discussing one basic thing. Please try to listen to this. If you understand, that is well and good. One is absorption and one is कौन सा आपका marginal. अच्छा, generally the statement is like this: sales minus COS, you get profit. It is sales minus variable cost, contribution minus fixed cost, you get profit. Do you understand this? For that matter, what you gonna make is working note, cost of sales के लिए. You will make working note where your variable cost will be there, your fixed cost will be there, production cost both are. अच्छा, it will be which amount? Absorbed amount. How to absorb that we have seen. अच्छा, उसके पहले always make one working note. What? Quantity sold, then closing stock, then opening stock and quantity produced. So you will get that entire data. If something is missing, that will be balancing figure. If nothing is given in the question, it is given 100, it is given 200, tell me, and nothing is given. So how many units are there? 300. Nothing is given, opening stock will be nil. Quantity produced nil nahi rahega. So if nothing is given, what will be nil? Your opening stock. So you have produced 300 karke. Now, then what you do is like this. First of all, now you will be understanding this. Budgeted overheads divided by budgeted units. You will get one absorption rate. That as and when I produce 1 unit, I will recover and I will record this amount. Hello. Then this absorption rate is multiplied by what? This absorption rate is multiplied by actual units. Actually, you have produced how many units? Please understand one more thing. The data will be given in the question for 1 year and they will say 1 quarter is ended. So you need to make everything only for 1 quarter, because 1 quarter is ended, so everything is made only for 1 quarter. Hello. So for every unit I am gonna recover 10 rupees. Let us say I have actually sold 1000. I have actually sold, let us say 1000 units. So I must have recovered kitna? So I can say that 10,000 into 10. I must have recorded this amount. इसको कौन सा ओवरहेड बोलते हैं? Absorbed overhead. I recovered 10 rupees. I recovered 10 rupees. So 1000 के पीछे I recovered 10,000. Now your actual overhead. This is what actual units are. Hello. Actual units are 1000. This is which quantity? Quantity produced. You produce this. Now actual खर्चा कितना है fixed overhead का? Let us say it is a 12,000. So this is known as under absorption or over absorption? Under, because absorption वाला amount is less. We have to always take absorption वाला amount. Suppose this is this 8,000. So actually you paid 8,000, but absorbed amount is kitna? 10. So absorbed is higher. So 2,000 will be known as. While making cost sheet, you will write which amount always over here? Absorbed. Then you will get what? Cost of production. Add opening stock of finished goods less closing stock of finished goods. Finished goods ka valuation will be done at what cost? Variable plus fixed both. Acha, see closing stock, how to calculate? I hope you know. Let's suppose this is 10,000 is your cost and you have produced 100 units. So you get first 1 unit ka cost into how many units are there in closing stock. This is a part of cost sheet. Hello. Thoda. You gonna get what? CO, GS, then add selling and distribution. But before that, because you have followed absorption costing and generally ICI does that, so we do writing off in this year itself. So whatever, if it is over absorption, let us say, if it is 200 over absorption, what will you do? Add or less? ओवर अब्जॉर्प्शन मतलब वी हैव रिटन, एक सेकंड, ओवर अब्जॉर्प्शन मतलब देखो एक्चुअल अमाउंट इज 8000, वी हैव रिकॉर्डेड 10, absorbed we have recorded 10, so you have to subtract 2. Over value we have written more, so to bring it to the level you have to subtract it, then it will become 8. We have written 10 बाबा इधर ये, बट एक्चुअल खर्चा 8 है, तो 2000 कम करेगा तो 8 पे आएगा. ओवर है तो लेवल पे लाने के लिए नीड टू सब्सट्रैक्ट, अंडर है तो लेवल पे लाने के लिए यू हैव टू ऐड. रिमेंबर? ओके. यहाँ पे अगेन यू विल मेक वेरिएबल का कॉस्ट शीट, बट लेकिन यहाँ पे हाउ यू विल मेक द कॉस्ट शीट, that is gonna be variable cost, then directly what will come is opening stock of finished goods, closing stock of finished goods. तो थोड़ा याद आता है. Then you get COP, sorry, then you get what? COGS. This was variable cost of production. It means, can I say one thing, in marginal costing your stocks are valued at which cost? Variable. And in absorption costing your stocks are valued at total cost, variable plus fixed. Because there will be one question where opening stock data will not be given. तो ठीक है, या तो स्टॉक का वैल्यूएशन क्लियर है क्या? अच्छा, देन ये फिक्स कॉस्ट है, दैट विल बी रिटन एज इट इज, वैसा है, नो चेंज, डायरेक्टली यू विल कॉपी. आई कैन सिंपली से whatever statement you make for absorption costing, same statement you will make for marginal, except for one thing, fixed cost का effect you will remove and entire fixed cost actually will show over here. Clear है? There is one more thing, logic was explained. You will start with absorption का profit, add change in opening stock less change in closing stock, you will get marginal का profit. Logic was explained, but just remember इसके लिए याद है ऐसा, absorption का profit plus change in opening stock minus change in closing stock, you will get marginal का. Logic was explained. If you want I can explain now, but it will be done. इतना ठीक है. Finally, we are done with marginal costing, one of the lengthiest chapter. We did the revision. Yeah, we are done with this.